Okay, so far in the Power App series, we have learned some of the fundamental building blocks of Power Apps. But there's one very important question we haven't answered yet. Where does the data actually come from? In today's video, we are going to answer exactly that. I will show you step by step how to connect Power Apps with Excel, SharePoint, and how to display that data in Gallery, and most importantly, when you should use Excel and when you should use SharePoint or Dataverse when you're really working on the enterprise level application. Hi everyone, my name is Devesh Vikram. I work as a digital transformation consultant with one of the big fours, and I have been using Power Platform for quite some time. And I come from non-technical background, so somebody who has just started learning Power Platform, these videos are going to be super helpful for them. So stay tuned. Before we start today's video, let me just show you what all we have covered so far and how we can, so that you can relate to each video and then understand better today's video. Okay, so I've just shared my screen, and if you see, this is my YouTube channel. So far I have uploaded 4 videos. So far we have learned how we can set up a Power App account, how we can start using the Power Apps, and what are the controls that we can start using as a beginner, and how we can also improve UI of our application with the help of generative AI. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can connect your data with Power Apps, so you can actually start building your application from scratch, and you can also connect it with the data, and you can interact with the data using your Power Apps. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I've just logged into Power Apps, and let me open a blank canvas. But before we start today's video, let's understand what data source is, right? A Power Apps by itself is basically an interface. But if you want to show some data that you have sitting in your Excel or in your SharePoint, with that your users can interact while using the application, then you need to link those data sources with your Power Apps. At the same time, if you're building an application where you're gathering some of the inputs and you want to store those inputs somewhere in the backend in a database, then also you need to connect the database with your Power application, and that place from where the data is flowing into Power Apps is called the data source. Okay, so what are we building today? We are going to build an asset tracker library. I have already kept the data available. I'm just going to open that. So first we will store the data in Excel, which I have already done. I have just made this dummy data using ChatGPT, and this is basically an asset tracker Excel, which has the columns for asset ID, asset name, category, their status, purchase date, cost, location, etc. And I want to show this data on my Power Apps. Now first of all, what you need to do is you need to have the data. First of all, that's the basic requirement. You need to have some data if you want to show it on Power Apps. Now you need to convert this Excel data in form of a table. You can just select your data and press Ctrl T. It is going to create a table for you, which I have already done. If you see here, asset table is the name of the table that I have converted. Now I will go back to my Power Apps, and in order to connect this data source with my Power Apps, I'm going to click on the option on the left hand side that's called data. You need to click on add data and then search for the Excel online business connector. Click here, click here. You can either copy this link and then directly paste here. That's one option. Or you can look for your SharePoint site here. So let's say this is my SharePoint site where my Excel is right now sitting. I'm going to select documents, and if you see here, I'm able to see that Excel which is currently uploaded on my SharePoint here. So I'm going to pick this up. This is showing me the table that I just created, which is asset table. Going to select this and hit connect. As in, when you hit connect, you will see two options here: insert auto generated ID into Excel table. Second one is use unique column for Excel table. For now, we'll just select the first option and we'll hit connect. Okay, so our Excel table is now connected to our Power Apps. Before we move to the next step, I just want to go back to our Excel sheet, and I want to show you. If you notice here on the right hand side, a new column has been added as Power Apps ID. So we just selected in step where we selected that create automated IDs. Now these IDs are automatically created when you connect your Excel table with Power Apps. These IDs are basically unique IDs that are referencing to each row that is available in your Excel table. So if you want to fetch a particular record from this row, this unique ID is going to be used to get any information available in this particular row. So this is how these unique IDs are used. Now I will just go back to my Power Apps. In order to show the data which is in my table, I'm going to use data table. So I'm going to search data table. Now it is asking select a data source. I'm going to select this table. My data source is connected, and if you see here, the data has started flowing here into my table. If I preview this, you can see there all the data that I was able to see in the Excel sheet. We are not able to see it on the Power Apps as well. Now this is classic data table. You can also use the modern data table. For that you have to go to settings, click on three dots, go to settings, click on updates, click on new, scroll down and enable modern controls and themes. It's now enabled. Now you should be able to see another control that's called data table. So let me first delete this data table. Now click on insert and again search data. If you see here, there's an option that's called data grid. So this is your new data table. So this is your data table with modern UI. If you see here, our data is again connected with this data table. And I personally like the look and feel of this data table more than the classic one. You also get the option to select your records here on the left hand side. You can also select all the records if you want to select by using the select option in the header. So this is how you can show your data that is available in your Excel. Now let's say you want to interact with this data. Maybe you want to add information into this Excel sheet. You have information about another asset and you want to create a new entry into your Excel table. How you can do that? I'm going to add another screen, I'm going to add another blank screen, and this time I'm going to use the control forms. So I will select forms. You can also pick classic edit forms, but as I said, I like the modern controls, so I'm going to select the first one. This is again asking what is my data source. This is asset table. So table is connected. Now I'll go to the fields and I will add fields, and here I'm going to select all the fields. Okay, so our form is now ready here. I'm going to resize this control, and here I just want to show one column each row. Now if I need to add another record, I can use this edit form. Let me just preview. Okay, so maybe I'll just fill test in all the columns. Now we just need to add a button that takes all these records and saves it back into our Excel table. So let me add a button here. Let's click on insert. And I will rename this button as save. On the on select property of this button, I'm going to put submit form in the name of the form, which is form 1. That's all. Now what this button does is, as in when I click save, this saves this information into our Excel table. Now if I scroll down, I will see a new record has been added here in the row 52. So this is how you can interact with the data. You can manage your records, at the same time you can also create new records. Now let's create a SharePoint list. I'm going to click on create new, and if you scroll down, we have some predefined templates already available here. So I'm just going to click on asset manager. So I can use this template. I'll just click use template, and I can create my SharePoint list, asset manager, and I'll just add SP SharePoint, and I will create one. So this has now created a SharePoint list for me. This has column for device photo, asset tag, status, manufacturer, model, asset, etc. Now I'm going to go back to the Power Apps and I'm going to connect the SharePoint list with our Power Apps. So let's go to data, click on add data, select for the connector called SharePoint. Yeah, select this. Now I'm going to copy the URL of my SharePoint list and paste it here, so it's easier for Power Apps to find my SharePoint list. If you see here, it is showing all the SharePoint list available on my all the list available on my SharePoint. So I'm going to pick the one that we have just created, Asset Manager SharePoint, and I'm going to click on connect. This time you would see that it did not give us any option of like you want to create automated IDs. It's because in SharePoint you do not need to create those unique IDs like you need to do it when you are using Excel table, because SharePoint does that job automatically when it gets connected with Power Apps, and those IDs are stored in the backend, and those IDs are not visible on SharePoint, but they are automatically created by SharePoint in the backend. Now our SharePoint listed connected to our Power Apps. I'm going to use the same edit form which we just added here, the same edit form 1, and I'm going to go to its data source and I'm going to remove the asset table which was our Excel table, and I'm going to connect this with our SharePoint list which is our Asset Manager SP. Now if you see here, it is asking if you want to replace the data card because the SharePoint list columns are not exactly same as the Excel sheet. So it is asking me to replace those data cards and create the new data cards as per the SharePoint list columns. Now our SharePoint list is connected with this form and we can create records. I can simply give title 1, status in use, and condition notes. I will just make it as test and I'm going to save this information. So now if you go back to the SharePoint list, I can maybe refresh my SharePoint list, and if you see here, the record has been added. So this is how you can connect your SharePoint list with Power Apps and create records. Now if you want to show these records that we have just created in SharePoint, I will go to screen 2 and I will go to the data table. Now in this data table, this is currently showing the record from our Excel table. I'm going to again change the data source of this data grid and I'm going to pick Asset Manager SharePoint. And if you see here, this has loaded our record which we just added here. So now if you see, I'm going to delete screen 1 and I'm going to keep only screen 2 and I will rename it as Manage Records, and our screen 3 is Create. I'm going to add a header very quickly here. In next 2 minutes we will be able to convert just these two screens into a fully functional application. I've added a header here. I'm going to resize this table a little bit. I'm going to change the logo and maybe use a stock image. Pick this clock here. Now here on the profile image, it will automatically pick up my image using the Active Directory. However, currently I do not have any image uploaded on my account, so it's not showing any image here. Screen is ready. We can just simply add two buttons. One button that takes us to the create records. You can just resize this, and on select property of this button you can type navigate, and this should navigate us to the next page that's called create records. Navigate to create records. That's all. So now if you click on this button, this is going to take you to this page. Now here we have already added a button for saving. Let's add another button for taking us back to the manage record screen. So I will copy and paste the same button. I'm going to change the name to go back. On select property of this button, I'm going to type navigate, and this should navigate me back to manage records. So now when I click on this button, this is going to take me back to this page. I'm going to copy this header and going to put this header on the next page as well, so the view on both the page looks same and the app looks overall looks better. Now if you preview, your fully functional asset inventory management tracker is ready. So an user can come to this page. This is going to be a landing page, asset records. Here the user can see what records have been added already, and if the user feels that another records to be added, he can click on create records and then simply use this edit form feature and then save the new record, and again can go back and check whether the new record has been added.